cool, chill, awesome. Oh
The
yeah,
the
good
fucking
dad.
the main thing that I run
Like
into,
yeah, like
the main thing, it's not you. It's DeMarco,
yeah,
who's
cool,
when
cool, yeah.
Is it me?
when there's a silence, DeMarco's like, cool, yeah. So yeah, cool. Um, and especially like uh actually all of us will say like a filler word and then we'll go right into a sentence. So it's like cool. And so blah 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 blah. And to like cut something between
Slice it thin.
cool and so is like sometimes there's not, enough of a dip in audio. So it makes it difficult. Which
Yeah,
isn't that which
so
which isn't it's not that bad on audio. It's actually, fairly easy. But if we were to add the video, I
we're
think it
gonna
would
look like
just
Yeah.
Max Headroom. It's gonna be like
be like ah.
Welcome to Action Club Podcast, your weekly hangout for great conversations, big laughs, and even better vibes. I'm Demarco Crone, joined by Ben Weber and Tanner Spies. This week, we watched Akira Kurosawa's epic Seven Samurai, and we can't wait to dive in and share our thoughts. Whether you're listening or watching, we're glad you're here. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to share it with your friends and follow us on Spotify, Instagram, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Now, let's get into it. Let's rock and roll. Seven Samurai. Tanner, what'd you think?
After some initial
you gotta
significant,
you gotta read the messages
my
for
iPhone is
context.
recording. So
I'm reading the messages.
DeMarco,
So
you can read my initial thoughts.
its messages were, it's in black and white. Oh boys, we're asking for a lot here.
Yeah.
And subtitles, you bastard. And then about an hour later, this might be the first movie that we've watched that I don't like. Granted, I've watched less than a third, but wow. I thought DeMarco would prevail in this category with his Steven Seagal bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah,
That was funny. That was really funny.
I was telling DeMarco before you got on, Ben, that it's definitely a movie where you absolutely have to be 100% locked in because uh, it's not even like a movie that I can kind of side watch. Even if DeMarco was saying he would text you and have to go back a couple of frames because
Oh yeah,
if you miss a
I was blowing my boy
little,
up last night.
Yes, he was.
if you
In a good way.
if
In a
you
good way.
if you miss anything, you miss a lot. And this movie is it's such a slow burn that it requires just a lot of attention, which I'm not. Um, I don't know. For at times when I first started the movie, I felt like I was in like a class that I didn't sign up for and was required to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, as it went on, I did, I do like the movie. I would never watch it again ever in my entire life. But it was a good movie. It wasn't bad as I initially had thought. But when I sent those text messages, I was angry that I was being forced to watch 3.5 hours of this, and
Felt like
B,
punishment.
yes, and B, I wasn't paying enough attention to actually like make it worth something, and so I literally rewatched the whole first hour that I had watched originally,
Boy.
because I
I
was
think
like,
we
all right,
gotta
I'm
get
just
this
gonna.
out of the way early. And I say this from I don't know, it's coming from the right place, I think. Even for me, I've seen this movie, I think 4 times all
Oh
the way
wow.
through. Since I was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
It's in grainy black and white, and sometimes it's tough to tell which character is which. There are like 4 samurai
Yeah.
that I don't know that I can tell apart. So I, I'm sorry, but
No,
I have to be
I
like, oh man, which guy is that again?
no, Ben, I agree with you because when one of the characters was killed, it took me a second to realize who it was also because it happened in a quick skirmish. So yeah, no, I
But it
know what you
also takes you a second to even realize he's been killed. He like falls down.
mean. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about. And then they're just burying him 3 seconds later. And you're like, wait a second, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
In a
like, oh,
three and a
okay.
half hour movie, how did they not like take a little more time to explain what
No.
happened to this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Tanner, would you say your feeling with this movie was similar to watching The Wire? It was just you're like, dude, this is too slow for me.
I mean, it was a very slow movie. So was though The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. That was also what,
Correct. Yeah.
3 hours or 3.5 hours or something like that. I think what made it feel even slower was just the grainy black and white, like Ben said, and the subtitles. Because The Good, Bad, and the Ugly, you could kind of like and there were at times when I think Ben and I, we watched it in the same place. So we were chatting or blah, blah, blah. And
Oh,
so the
yeah.
movie goes on but it
He's
just
walking through
felt,
the desert and you can just chill and grab a
right.
beer,
It felt
use
longer
the
because
bathroom. Yeah.
everything was important and you had to be so locked in.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
there are many, many characters too.
and
Like
many characters.
There are a lot of yeah.
In the beginning, I wrote down all of the characters. Actually, I had Chad GPT. I call him Chad. I had Chad write down all the characters' names and then give like a little description of who they are, which made it easier to follow the story
Oh,
because
that's yeah.
was one guy just called my wife.
my wife. No.
Yeah. Oh
No.
boy.
Get to that later.
That's
Yeah.
not the case.
Yeah. We'll address that later. So this was so that's amazing that you've seen this 4 times, Ben. That's
It's
14
crazy.
hours that you've committed to this film, which I think is fair because it's a super influential, very important film in cinema history. This is a resume builder for Tanner and myself. And I, when Tanner was messaging us talking about this movie, I was laughing because I had a similar reaction to when I first started watching All Quiet on the Western Front. It was very similar circumstances. It was late at night. I'd had a pretty busy day. And I was watching it going, God, why did he pick this fucking movie? This
Long ass movie
this
with
sucks.
subtitles.
But I found myself getting into it like rather quickly because it just again
In
the
high
set
definition.
pieces and yeah, in high
To be
definition.
fair, this
Color.
movie is much more fun than All Quiet on the Western Front.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
but
oh yeah.
all quiet in the Western Front, I
It's
would put
it's bad.
I
Yeah.
mean,
The one thing I will say about this movie, and this idea was kind of I was playing around with it in my mind last night. All Quiet on the Western Front is super bleak. It is just bad, and it goes from bad to worse to just completely horrendous very quickly. Nightmare scenario.
to
I
be
feel
clear,
like
bad in terms of like the movie is bleak, not a
Shit
bad
is
movie.
bad.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I mean like the circumstances. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. The circumstances of the people. No, it's a wonderful film, a wonderfully
World War
beautifully
II.
beautifully shot film. But I think this movie really captures human desperation and the feeling of just complete hopelessness. I mean, I thought those scenes where they were all together in a circle, almost like a coiled circle, and they were just like laying down, they were praying, they were bowing, just hoping that somebody was going to save them. The
You mean the
farmers,
villagers? The
yeah, the
farmers?
villagers. I just all the scenes when they're sitting, it looks like they're in a prison. They're basically in their own prison, right? They're when they were in the room, just some of the guys were gambling and drinking, the other guys were just sitting there slowly starving to death. It really captured that desperation that they felt, and they just truly had really seemingly had nowhere to go until they came up with the idea to hire the samurai to take care of business. So it was yeah, I immediately found myself like connecting to the farmers and thinking, all right, yeah, I want these guys to get there. I want these guys to have their day. So that part was cool. I got that brought me into it. The
If you
subtitles,
want to see it in color, spoken in English,
No fucking way. I googled
just
that shit.
just watch The Magnificent Seven.
just watch
Okay.
The Magnificent Seven. So
I was
Ben,
like, I was like, where can I watch this dubbed? Please,
Nowhere.
for the love of God. And
Nowhere.
Google is like, go fuck yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, Ben,
Yeah.
when
Curious.
I did a small bit of research on this movie before watching it. Not too much because I wanted to, experience it with no surprises or spoilers. But I didn't realize that not only is the Magnificent Seven, I didn't realize that it's a literal adaptation of that movie.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that it actually credits
it's like scene for
Akira
scene.
Kurosawa
Yeah.
scene for scene, like the build up. And as I was watching it, I was going, oh, this is the Magnificent Seven. It's the same movie just set in the West versus in feudal Japan.
There's a twist in the Magnificent Seven. Not spoilers for the Magnificent Seven.
Yeah.
But they go around promising money, gold to like gunfighters, which they don't actually have. And then that gets flushed out at some point in the second act, and then they have to do it just for like their pride or whatever, for honor.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I found myself also
same resolution.
Yeah. Yeah. I found myself also thinking about the movie Unforgiven a little bit, that kind of that reluctant old hero who kind of wanders and does his own thing. Like that was very much the Clint Eastwood character in that movie. And obviously our guy, Ken, I just had it up here. Kende Shamida. I think that was his name. That character was so badass. As soon as he popped up and saved the kid and made himself look like a monk, I was like, this guy, this is my guy. This is the guy. That scene was real. The use of just silence and just the time waiting for something to happen. I don't think I'd ever really seen anything like that in a movie, where most films will use music, like John Carpenter. I mean, all these other films where they use the music to build the tension. This was just silence. They're just waiting. Oh, when are they going to show up? What's going to happen? And I found myself going, damn, this is intense, man. Even though it's a 71-year-old film, which very, very influential film. Ben and I are going to totally nerd out in a little bit about all the Easter eggs and references and all the fun stuff, because I was texting Ben last night. Every time I saw a reference to a movie, I was texting him like, oh my God, this movie. So it's super influential. I think I've used the word influential like 50 times. So Ben, what do you want? Would you like to go?
I think there is a school aspect here, because like this is probably the most influential action movie. Like
no
it's
question.
Not even just because it's like first, it's just it has all the shit in it that we see
blueprint.
in every movie that we watch. Like I'm putting a team
blueprint
together.
That's it.
I did
a team of misfits.
On a mission.
Team of and there's the one guy who is, the young, really idealistic guy who wants to do the right thing, and he wants to have he wants to be the disciple under the master. And then you have
all the
one
archetypes
guy
are in there that we see.
Who doesn't care. He's the burnout who just like kind of does whatever, but he's also a really good fighter.
You can
really
overlay
quiet,
it onto
stoic
like
guy.
the Fast and the Furious pretty easy.
That's it.
Everything. It's Marvel. It's Fast and Furious. It's
I'm gonna go down a.
So that's why I made you guys watch it. Like
I'm glad we watched it. I
see the building blocks.
Yeah, no, I'm really glad we watched it, and I definitely appreciated a lot of the setups and all of the tropes. So many. I mean, and I'm sure if I rewatch it, I will also notice more of those. The craziest one though for me was a Stephen King reference, which I didn't. It just popped up in my head. But there's the Dark Tower series that Stephen King wrote. It was about 8 or 9 books, I believe. Book number 5, The Wolves of Calla. I don't know if you've read those books, Ben, but it's a great series.
I think I read the first one.
First one's the best, no question. The fifth one, Roland and Susanna and Eddie Dean and Jake. So there's a key. There's four characters. Just remember that number. They come upon this town called Calla. And there are these wolves that apparently are android wolves. Stephen King is out of his mind. I love him. But anyways, they come at night and they steal the children and eat their brains, basically. It's pretty bad. So they team up with 3 women called the Ladies of Oriza. And what they do is they take these metal plates and they flatten them and they throw them as discs to take out the wolves. So you have a group of 7 people protecting the village from an invading force. And as soon as I made that connection, I Googled it, I triple checked to make sure, and the numbers checked out. I was like, dude, this is awesome. Stephen King, man, digging that Kurosawa. So yeah. I was feeling it. I was very fired up last night. I was sending all caps messages to Ben at like 11 p.m. Which is why you have me here, because of my
love it.
I know.
Love it. I have unlimited messaging.
So that was the deepest one for me. Was like, wow, this is.
I have unlimited talk time and unlimited messaging. So
that's good. And we have a good.
Go ahead.
What? Oh, I was gonna say, Ben and I also have a wonderful understanding where I will send. Sometimes I'm an over texter. I know it. It's okay. And if Ben doesn't respond to me for 2 or 3 days, it's all good. I know he's busy. Sometimes he probably reads and goes, God, this guy is a fucking nutcase. I'm just gonna go on a break.
That's funny. Demarco and I have the same relationship, except for I'm the Demarco and he's the Ben. I will just send him the most hateful, rude, fucked up shit on voice notes, and he just doesn't respond.
Everybody's an overtexter compared to me.
It's the best. Well, I strive to be like you, Ben. I think you're yeah. So you've got to figure it out.
Try to keep it punchy and succinct.
I'm glad I have Demarco to just send absolute horseshit to all the time.
Yeah.
And I know he'll read them at some point, but he doesn't need to respond. That still makes me
happy. I'm sorry if she's listening to this, but I get texts from my mother that are like a foot long. And it's like, I'm just going to call you. That's how she gets me to call.
Funny enough, I've actually started going back to that with some people. Obviously, Tanner is in a different time zone, but there are times where I'll just call somebody and just say, "Hey, what's up? Let's work this out really quick." Versus
make this a phone call.
Yeah. So
for that, yes, I'd call, but I am across the world in different time zones for the.
But I look forward to your messages, Tanner, and I have the time when I listen to them, because if I'm say at my daughter's dentist and I open up a message, I could get myself into trouble. So
Demarco, I had said that there was something right out of Fury Road. Now, I'm curious what you thought that was. I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Let me make sure when Kyuzo,
right.
Kyuzo goes out to get the musket, and he basically says like, "I'll be right back." He comes back. He's gone for a little while. He goes down.
It's all foggy.
Road.
They're in the woods.
It's foggy. It's dark. He goes down, and he comes back with a musket. And he says, "Oh, and by the way, there's two down." It was very much just like Fury Road, except he wasn't covered in blood. He didn't have a bunch of weapons, but total.
He wasn't wearing a Bass Pro Shops when he walked back, but
yeah. But he was wearing. But
it's like, okay, yeah.
So, but he took out one of the musket shooters and took the musket, which is great. So that character was so awesome. By the way, how cool was that guy? Man, that dude was super cool. His Seiji Miyaguchi. Miyaguchi.
I'm sure you.
I'm probably butchering.
We're gonna butcher.
I'm just gonna say. I'm gonna say I do my best with pronunciations, but I deeply apologize forever for.
Yeah, we apologize to the people of Japan. For how we're gonna slaughter their names.
So Ben, I'm gonna let you tell me which route we want to go, because there's a lot we have to cover with this film, because again, it's a really influential film. I don't know if I've told you that or not, but I would like to either continue down this road of references, because there's so many.
I want to hear
cover all of them.
Not all of them, but there's
at least some of the references.
There's a few big ones.
I was telling Demarco that I don't, unlike you two, I haven't seen most movies more than one time. So I don't. Demarco, shut up. So I don't. you gotta stop talking over. I'm gonna have to edit this later. Let's just do some references, because I don't watch a bunch of movies more than once, and so you fucker. So I won't get them. I mean, even when you were describing the Mad Max Fury Road thing, I was like,
one of them you will.
Mad Max part.
One of them I think you will get. potentially. You ready for it?
Let's hear a few.
So I sent many texts to Ben last night, but one of the ones was, I believe that this is one of Mel Gibson's favorite movies of all time, because I saw Braveheart references in this movie and I saw the Patriot references in this movie. The Braveheart ones for me were, they had the spears, the trees, they cut the logs down, they had the spears built up to create the fence, to keep the horses away. But like, Braveheart. Have you seen Braveheart, Tanner? Oh, that's gonna have to happen for you, dude. So I won't give the spoiler away because it's a really key scene where there's wonderful tension built up, but that the spears get used in that movie as well. So
I may
in a
have seen Braveheart at a way too young age,
yeah,
but not
that's okay.
in memory.
Yeah. So there was that part that really struck out to me. There was another one. I completely forgot to take a note on it, but there were at least 2 or 3 moments where I was thinking, oh yeah, this is there's some Braveheart borrowed from this a little bit. And then the last one that I had was, this might be a reach and I don't care, but Mulan. Her hair gets cut, so Shino's hair gets cut so that she looks like a man, and then the guy noticed that she has breasts and then realizes that she's a woman. That's literally what happens in the movie Mulan, where she tries to look like a man to go fight for her father because he's old and kind of broken. But then she gets wounded, and then they notice when she's she's undressed but has bandages on that she's a woman. So
I'm glad that you brought up hairstyles, because can we just talk about it at the top of my notes is some interesting choices for hairstyles of the men. Originally I thought it was just going to be the farmers, and then it's everyone. They all have just a solid bald patch, and sometimes the samurais have the hair in the front, bald on the top, and then like the band around the side, which for farmers doesn't feel like the best place not to have hair with the sun. But anyway, I thought that was
maybe you're wearing a hat or a helmet all the time and you don't want to get your hair all nappy up there or something. I don't.
Yeah. Speaking of hair, when Kanbei Shimada is getting his head shaved, at first I thought that was the ceremony of him becoming a Ronin. I thought, oh, he brought dishonor, something happened, and he's being, he's being, his title as a samurai is being removed. I had no idea where that scene was going.
I knew from the jump that he was about to do some spy shit, which I loved, by the way. Yeah,
that was really cool. So but once he put the robe on, and then you heard about the kid and the guy that had the kid, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, he's about to rock and roll. We're about to James Bond this shit. So that was some really cool scenes in this movie, man. I was feeling it. Tanner was not feeling it, but I was feeling it. I have a really fun, super random musket story. You came around.
A musket story?
Yes.
Please tell us the musket story.
I don't think I've shared this with you. What'd you say, Tanner?
I just laughing because every movie that we have, you have some sort of gun story, like threw a grenade, or you just played around with guns with your teacher, but they were all unloaded and it was fine.
Yeah. Actually, I have 2 musket stories, but I'll only tell.
Is this going to have to do with the Second Amendment?
No.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah, I guess technically, sort of. So Lauren and we used to live in Jackson, Mississippi, and during our time there, we went to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, and there's people go down there there's casinos and other things to do. We're really into history, so we went down there for the final home of Jefferson Davis, where he essentially retired to after the war, and hung out. It was a really cool property, and it was really neat. We got to check it out. It was a massive grounds, and we went into the library. And this part was really cool because they had the archive on the computer. You could look up and see if any of your family members were in the Civil War, whether it be one side or the other. My family's from Florida, so I don't have to tell you what side my family was fighting for, my distant relatives. But anyways, we're hanging out, and this guy is there dressed up like a Confederate soldier. And at first I'm thinking, oh, he's going to do a reenactment or something. And he starts talking to Lauren. I think he was hitting on Lauren a little bit.
Oh,
Because Lauren was looking over at the archive, and I'm looking over at something. There's like a musket on a table, and I'm looking at it, and he's talking to her. And then I come over and go, oh, hey man. And I just start talking. Like I didn't even read the situation until later. It was kind of funny. But anyways, turns out this guy was the head archivist for this place. And he said, do you guys want to see some guns? And I was like, yes, of course I do. So he took us into the back, and he showed us all the different rifles that were used
he
in
left
Civil
you
War.
with the guns, and they
Yeah.
went
Yeah.
and took a walk.
Yeah. We took
Why don't
us
we
all
get
back
some
there
coffee?
together, so it was a
Okay.
group experience. But anyways,
Oh,
he was
boy.
showing us the weapon. This guy would pick it up, and without even looking at it, would tell you what year it was manufactured, maximum effective range, and all. It was really, really neat. And basically what it all boiled down to was these weapons were extremely inaccurate.
Mhm.
And hitting somebody
That's what I was thinking.
while riding away on a horseback would be very difficult to do. So that was the one thing that stuck out to me was, wow, these guys are really good shots for a really, really inaccurate weapon.
I think we had a similar discussion when we did The Quick and the Dead of just like this is not
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
not how guns work
Yes, this is not. Yeah,
from
this
that
is
far
not how they
away.
work. Yeah. So that was my musket story. I feel like Tanner's gonna go through one of the episodes and go, "Yep, DeMarco told the story already." Yep.
No.
I did have some other
No, I have not heard the musket
influences
story.
that came up in my
Oh, go for it, Ben.
my
Yeah.
bullshit research. And of course, some of this, who knows? I don't know how much salt you want to put on it. Our friend Zack Snyder, he of the DC EU, is that what his
Yes,
was?
the
And
DCEU.
all his stuff. He said that obviously this was a big influence on his Justice League movie, which like
Oh, yeah.
again, just like putting the team together, right? It's an influence on every putting the team together,
Yeah.
men on a mission movie since it's come out, right? Like because there isn't really one before it. And then Denis Villeneuve said this was a big influence on Sicario, which we did earlier. And
Okay.
I'm not really sure I understand how, but maybe just that like Benicio del Toro is kind of like a samurai in that movie.
Oh, I guess he was kind of like a Ronin. Yeah, kind of a Ronin type character.
Yeah, he's
but
just
yeah.
I don't know.
That feels a stretch.
I believe Denny, but I don't know. I need him to drill down a little bit more for me. I'm
Yeah.
kind of dumb. I don't
Yeah.
get the
Well,
direct connection, but
yeah. I think the one thing that, because I was also thinking for a moment as you said that, I guess obviously Benicio del Toro's character he's avenging his family. That other guy was trying to avenge his wife, so maybe that's it, but I don't know. That's seems like a stretch, but it
maybe
makes
the protecting the village was the United States from
yeah,
It's a stretch. Definitely a stretch, but okay.
Yeah.
I could maybe see
sure,
that. Sure.
right? Like it's fine.
Yeah.
Sure, fuck it.
I really liked how it wasn't just one big battle. I loved how there were multiple skirmishes. I thought that was really cool. And I thought that
it takes a while.
It built up the tension because they really got into the tactics of it and the geography and the different fronts. And every time they went back to the map and to the sheet that had he was doing the X's, I was like, oh shit, man, they're taking more out. It was
like
crazy.
The bandits are not idiots, you know?
Right.
They're not just brainless like 1,000 men versus one gorilla sort of situation, right? Like
yeah.
they're just going to like keep charging until they're all dead. Like they're like, okay, we lost a couple guys, let's try something different. It's just that our guys are always a step ahead.
Yeah, they sent a scouting party, they tried all the different angles. Yeah, it was good. I also liked that it wasn't just a big final battle, and that there were, I think, two or three, mini battles before the last hurrah. Yeah.
Apparently, from my research, they had to stretch it out this way because they didn't have enough horses for filming the movie.
Oh,
until
that's
the
cool.
end of the movie. Like,
oh, that makes sense.
Funny.
They kept running. They had horse shortages, so that led to them only being able to have so many horses in the
I was gonna say that PETA probably wouldn't be too happy
No,
with
no.
this
No,
movie
I
if
don't
it
think
came
so.
out at
Well, I
this
feel like that
point.
made it work again because it was okay. We're fighting here. Oh, go check the eastern front. You guard the western front. You do this. I mean, I thought that was cool because they were, they were trying to protect from all directions. And then obviously they flooded the one side. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool. I like how they really got into the tactics on this. I thought that was really neat. So
Same.
okay, we got to get into the history of this film. I was nerding out so hard last night, trying to not overtext, but
Bricked up.
overtexting.
Nerding
This
out.
film, directed by Akira Kurosawa, 1954. Did not realize this was a Toho film. Just so happens that there was another film that Toho released that exact same year that would also go on to become an extremely influential film and become a massive international franchise. Ben knows what the movie is. Tanner probably doesn't. It is Godzilla. So the original Godzilla. And I found out the gentleman Takashi Shimura, who plays Kanbei Shimada, the Ronin, he's the scientist, one of the scientists in Godzilla. So
Oh,
this movie has a
okay.
connection to Godzilla, which I just love.
That's very
I think
cool.
it's very, very awesome. Yeah. And yeah, that was just a bit of history there. Because I remember when you texted us the movie and I saw the year, I thought, oh, this is right around Godzilla time. So it very, very exciting. So
I mean, this is like a more well-made movie than Godzilla. Is that,
oh yeah, no
you
question.
know,
Yeah.
shut up. Just influence though, huge, both of them.
Oh, absolutely. I read a book about Godzilla because I nerd out on movie things, but the guy that composed the music, I'm blanking on what his name is now, but he said that before he did the score for it, when you just watch the movie with no music, he said it was so terrible and so stupid, but the music is what really added to, you know what I mean, the atmosphere and the tone and everything to build up all the stuff. So the music was needed. So it yeah, there were so many silent moments in this movie where you're just waiting for something to happen. You're just like, okay.
Lot of also just like a lot of long pauses, not just for waiting for things, but
Yeah.
like something happens and they really took the time to uh, have the silence to make the moment feel more
Yeah.
dramatic or more profound, which
I mean, this movie takes place over months,
Yeah.
like
And you notice with his hair, obviously the hair
they
growth
got to
over
grow
time.
the barley and then they
Yeah.
have like the
Right.
harvest.
yeah,
And then it's, weeks after that, I think. So,
yeah.
Oh, I lost it when this line happened. When the gentleman Katsuri? Was it Katsuri? I'm blanking on his name now. The young man who wanted to become Kanbei's disciple, he looked at Kyuzio and he said, "You are a magnificent person." I was like, "Oh,
oh
magnificent,
yeah.
bro." So that was really cool. I thought, wow, that's okay. Yeah, we really, really powered for this movie. So I loved it. I thought that was awesome. I love moments like that. So I was over here nerding out at 11 p.m. at night, enjoying myself. Also, how hard do you think it would be to fire an arrow and hit somebody while you're riding on horseback? Like that's got to be really tough, right?
Sounds hard.
Like
I mean,
probably easier than a firearm, right?
I think if you do this, like this is your main, I mean, that was
Practice.
obviously
You got to
their main
practice.
form of
Yeah.
weaponry. I think that's definitely possible. I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about like today in the Olympics, I'm pretty sure there's one where you're like skiing and then you stop and you fire an arrow or something. It might be a gun,
Biathlon.
but
It's a gun.
Oh, that's right.
there's there are plenty of sports today where you're doing something that's hectic and then you go and you fire a gun or an arrow or whatever it is. So
That
I'm
thing in
sure
the
if
biathlon, the hardest part is controlling your breathing.
yeah. So I'm sure if your only weapon was an arrow and your only mode of transportation was a horse, that you'd be able to fire an arrow off a horse the same way you're able to shoot a gun out of a moving car or plane or something like that. So I
So
thought
it's
this movie
easy,
was
is
very
what
accurate.
Tanner's
Yeah.
saying. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy peasy.
It's
Yeah,
got to be easier than
no
a
problem.
firearm though, because the without there's no kickback obviously on the bow. I mean, or maybe a little bit, but not like a firearm, obviously.
I think it would be easier in some respects, but not in all of them. I mean, a firearm, you're just pulling a trigger, and the bow, you have like so much force. Have you ever tried to
Oh,
pull a bow back? Like that shit is not
yeah.
easy, and then to hit accurately,
And then to
just
try to be
even standing.
accurate. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Keep
it
your
is.
elbow straight.
some
Keep
full
your elbow
body shit
straight.
right there,
Well, I
especially
got
since you're fucking grasping a horse at the same time.
exactly.
Grasping the horse.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
One of
Grasp.
my other one of
Get
my
up
other
there. Get
random
up in that saddle and grasp that horse.
you're. Let's move on.
if there's any horse riders in this audience, they probably just left the chat.
Rattling it.
Another just random thought that popped in my head was when one of the samurai was speaking to the guy who kept talking about his wife, the farmer who's maybe
Rikichi.
Rikichi, thank you. He was with him by the fire, and he said something along the lines of, if it helps to speak about what's weighing
Yeah.
on you, it's you shouldn't bottle it up. I immediately thought, man, did this movie invent therapy? But then
I
I pulled up
I
Sigmund
thought
Freud, and he was doing it earlier than that in the 40s. So
I wrote I noted that as well. I was like, this is probably a surprising bit of mental health kind of
yeah,
talk, especially for that time, and especially for a Japanese movie,
that's what I
which
thought. Yeah,
in general their culture, even to this day, is not really let's talk about it type culture.
I think these
Um,
samurai, they're facing life and death every day.
yeah,
They got to have their house in order,
yeah,
their mental house.
yeah.
yeah,
And they're just, they're also like very it's a lonely lifestyle, right? So you literally don't want to have that mental baggage
Yeah.
going
true.
along with you.
They're like monks who also kick the shit out of people,
Fuck people up.
basically.
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah, no, totally. And
That guy, can we talk about this farmer for a minute and
Rikichi?
Yeah,
his family situation? Because his wife is gone. We find out she's with the bandits,
Yeah.
right? And
and
and,
it
and
was
she
bad.
hates him so much that she fucking goes back into the burning house, or she hates
So
herself or something.
does she? Yeah. Does
Was
she
she
hate
traumatized,
him,
do you think?
or
Do you think they traumatized
or
her and she
do you think
abandoned
Probably
it?
they?
so shameful,
Yeah.
right? But
I guess.
I don't
I mean,
know.
I was
But
And
confused
then
by
his
that.
daughter, he's like trying to get her to tell her what to do. And like, dude, it didn't work out with your wife. I don't know if the bandits took the wife or she
yeah,
ran
Yeah, I
away.
couldn't figure that out either.
that's
And
another potential Braveheart mini reference is the whole prima nocta thing when the guy marries the woman and the noblemen come down and steal the wife away. I think they technically return her. But that I don't know. That this is it's a little
Return
bit
the
of stretch.
property.
well, then the
Potentially as
daughter, in one of her like middle scenes with the young guy, she's laying there, they're laying in the grass, and she's kind of like, stop being a gentleman or whatever
She
she
said.
says to
She
yeah.
him.
said, "Coward, like be a
Because
samurai
he's
or
not
something
just
like
like
that."
going for it.
I think
He's
she
like
was
trying to
a
be a
yeah.
good dude and like
Step
take it
up,
I
bro.
think
slow.
she was saying like stop being a bitch, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
What's your
Absolutely.
rush, baby?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I looked it up because I had to
Oh.
confirm, but like the relationship between Shino and the young samurai not okay because of like classism or something like
Mm.
that
Yes.
in
Yes.
that era.
Well,
Yeah,
she
and
was
I
a
thought
farmer and he was a samurai. Yeah.
I know, but I thought like, wouldn't that be more of a, a shame for the samurai and more of like a good, like potentially a good thing for the
Oh.
farmer?
Oh
But
yeah.
what Google and other, sources were saying is like they um, the culture was like you have to remain pure, and so if you are sleeping
Yeah.
with somebody, that ruins your chances of like marriage with somebody that you can actually marry because they're not
Mm.
allowed to like marry samurais or something like that. Anyway,
Yeah.
I was confused at first. I was like, what's the big deal? He should be the one who's all fucked up about it. But
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too because you think about the samurai and what their job was and the what their status was. And basically, the way, and I read a few books about this, so I have a little bit of,
All
education.
last night?
No, I went on a mini like Japanese history / samurai reading bender back when Shogun
Whoa.
first came out, because I was just really fascinated. I watched the first episode and was just blown away by the whole concept. And I read, apparently that show really was quite accurate as far as how violent it was, and how seppuku, the practice of seppuku, was very common back then. Where, do you guys know what seppuku is?
I always thought it
No,
was
sounds like a
seppuku,
sex thing.
Is it
but
seppuku? Yeah,
I
maybe
think
I'm
it's seppuku.
seppuku. Okay. It
Tanner, it's when you kill yourself. You took the sword right in your
you
stomach and you just
you
cut yourself open.
disembowel yourself, yeah.
God
If you bring
damn.
dishonor.
You
But
actually you're supposed to have a buddy there with you
yeah,
to
To
cut
make
your
sure
head
it's
off
done?
that's
if it
right.
doesn't take.
Yeah. No,
You don't want
Damn.
to
it
do it
is,
alone.
That's some assisted suicide to the next level. Jesus
Yeah. Well,
Christ.
it's
yeah.
a good friend who
Well,
helps
but
sometimes.
what's really interesting though is that,
I'm
to
out.
Tanner's point, the samurai in many ways is basically like a hired sword. They're a nobleman or a king or somebody will pay them to protect the province, protect the land. But then they have status, right? They have status and resources. They typically have a really nice home and all of that. So to become a ronin is, it's you know it's bad news bears, for lack of a better way of saying it. You no longer have a lord to protect or to take care of, and you're just wandering. It very very much that classic trope of the wandering gunslinger, Clint Eastwood, all these characters that
Is
we've
it
seen,
like
or
a
in many ways Benicio del
uh
Toro as well.
is it like
Yeah.
a family thing? Like you're born into like royalty and then you become a
Yeah,
samurai,
it's a
or
great question. It's a combination of factors. So yes, that's part of it. You can be born into it, like your dad's a samurai and you're a samurai. Sometimes a kid gets adopted by a samurai. They'll pillage a village, and there'll
nice.
be a kind of like that classic trope of the movie. Like there's the one kid that's left, and it's like, okay, I'm gonna spare you, and then I'll train you. And but that it. Reading this book was insane, because it was basically just a timeline of little short stories over the differing periods of Japanese history. And it was so violent, bro. It made Game of Thrones look like a Girl Scout picnic. It was insane. And
Yikes.
so it was, yeah, it was wild. So the Polly Award for most useless character.
Oh, most useless. I
I'm
forgot about
saying
that
I'm
one.
saying the old man. He sucks.
The
I
old
don't.
man?
Yeah, he
He
sucks.
gave him
Old
the
man.
idea though.
Yeah, that okay. All
Oh,
right, that's
that old
The
man.
old man.
the
The
old
old
man.
man.
I guess
I
he
thought you were
did.
just
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a unibrow guy. He's just
Unibrow guy.
there's one guy who's just got this it looks like a boomerang on his face.
You're not talking about Sad Man, right?
Uh no, different guy, I
Yohei.
think. I don't know. He just was being a
Unibrow
lunatic
guy.
all the time and
Oh no.
giving
Oh, you mean the
everybody
guy that was just screaming the entire movie
yeah,
and
yeah, he's
was a
just doing a lot
drunk?
of screaming and being
Yeah.
drunk and picking fights with everybody.
Ah, Unibrow guy from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
From the
he
main
pops
town.
up. He pops up here and there. But he can go to hell. I don't need that guy.
Yeah, I would agree.
All right.
He was just a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a dick.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, that's a good one. Bishop Award for most underrated character.
I think it was Sad Man, Yohei. The
Okay.
guy whose face was perpetually sad, and the one who Kikuchio put in charge of his post when he went to go do the musket thing. That's that guy. Yeah, I think
That's good. Yeah.
I liked him a lot. I was rooting for him.
Okay.
Yeah. You were feeling it. Okay. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't think I actually didn't have a character in mind for that anyway. So yeah, let's go with it. Would this main character make your
Fuck
starting
that,
five?
bro. Fuck that.
Let me ask you
I think
this.
he's good for strategy, but I mean, we're in 2025, not 1595.
Well, here's where I would want to ask you. If we were obviously we have
Hold
such
on.
a massive pool of talent.
Hold
You
on.
know what I'm going to ask.
I just edited the podcast where you were like, We should each think of a scene that our starting five plays, and Ben was like, "This sounds like Dungeons and Dragons," and I'm out. So,
Yeah.
and I feel
I'm
like that's
simply
what you're
saying,
saying.
no.
Let's
I'm
come
not
up
going to
with
go
a
into
scenario.
I'm not a whole scenario. I'm just going to say, like, in a close quarters situation, a couple of these guys could be pretty clutch, I
Yeah,
think.
for sure.
No, I mean,
But if you look at the
no.
sword, obviously the skill with the sword, no disrespect to these samurai, but obviously the bride is would crush them easily, you know. So
Yeah,
or
I
dead
mean, there's a
baby.
lot of other people with close quarters combat. I mean, really, the only scenario where they're helpful is in a world where there's not guns, really.
Well, it's basically like, do
Yeah.
you want Babe Ruth on your baseball team now?
Yeah,
Right?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
could he
Like,
adapt to the modern game?
give me
But
Shohei Otani instead.
Well, yeah.
yeah. But I would say Shimada is quite the tactician and leader and good at kind of quieting the crowd when people get a little bit unruly. So he's got some
He's not
leadership.
going to be a
Probably,
negative. That's, I
no,
mean,
definitely not going to be a negative. I would at minimum consider him on my bench. I think he would be a
Wow.
contender for the bench.
you guys want to have all these head cases on your squads, and then this
Yeah,
guy is just like the easiest, breeziest dude in the world to deal with. And
yeah.
like, I don't think so.
I also just edited the one where I was like, I don't know if Captain America would be on my team, and DeMarco was offended that I said that. He
I
was
couldn't
like,
believe.
"Are you
Ironically,
kidding
I'm like
me?"
wearing my
Yeah.
Captain America shirt today. Just from a skill with the sword, I think Kuzio would be the guy I would the guy that went out and got the musket. I mean, just a super skilled swordsman, very
Yeah.
calm under pressure, and just gets the job done. That's the guy that I would want. You know, so I would think on my.
I
He's the
will
best
say
of the worker bees.
yes,
Yeah.
You know.
he is the best. I will say when he went out to go get the musket, and then he was coming back, and they heard footsteps, and all of the remaining samurai stood in a line. I was like, this is the easiest way for you all to get slaughtered before this battle even starts. I was really upset by the cruise index
Yeah, the cruise.
ability.
Oh, we're gonna get to that cruise index too. I really enjoyed again, I've already talked about how I loved how there were a bunch of little skirmishes. I liked the guerrilla warfare that they were implementing too, with the farmers
Yeah, man.
hiding, you know, with the spears. I thought
Yeah.
again, I'm still thinking Mel Gibson loves this movie because
They're fighting dirty.
how much guerrilla warfare was there in the movie The Patriot? It's like that's what they did to take
Dude,
out
not only
those
that, they went to the
darn.
other camp and burned it down in the middle of the
They
night.
fucked him
Yes.
up. Oh, it's
Like,
Yes,
good.
which in the Patriot, that he tells the story that's what they did. That's when
Like,
he
there
was
was
fighting in the French and Indian War.
there was no honor when it came to that. Like,
No, they even
we're
saw
gonna
those
do
women in
whatever
there.
we have to
Like,
do to
let's
win.
burn it down regardless. So, yeah.
Yeah, these are bad guys. Let's go take out half of them in the middle of
And
the night.
then
Yeah.
and when that grandma just killed that bandit who was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna fucking I know he told us
Yeah.
everything, but I'm still gonna
Dude,
kill him.
I was so rooting for that old lady when she showed up with that farm tool.
I was like,
and
oh,
she,
you better
I was
fuck him
like,
up.
get it, grandma. Let's get it. That was
Yeah,
awesome.
the
I was
bandits
so
are
fired
like
up.
vermin, you know? Like,
Yeah.
And then someone said, "Oh, help her." I was like, "No. She doesn't need help, bro. She's got
She's
this.
got it.
You
Got
just
the
get out of her way." Like
pitchfork.
grandma's got this. So that was that was really awesome. The dude, I'm gonna have to go with one more potential reference, then I'm gonna shut up about this, I promise. So Ben, you've seen The Walking Dead.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen much of The Walking Dead, Tanner. So I'll make this super quick and succinct because Ben's going to start getting tired of listening to my voice. But in The Walking Dead, you got your main characters, Rick, Michonne, Carl, Daryl, all the cool guys. They go to this place called the Hilltop, and they want to trade supplies and help each other and set up a little economy. And they will trade with them if they help them with this problem that they have with this other group called the Saviors. And what they do is they find out where these Saviors are and they go to where they are and they kill them. They just literally slit their throats in their sleep and they burn the place down. and then there's retaliation and there's escalation and things get very, very bonkers and insane. But I think again, this movie really did set like the mold, like it is the mold. So the template.
Well,
So
it's also like, the morality of it. Like,
yes,
these are our good guys. They're protecting our village,
Mm.
but like they're fucking people up. Like,
Yeah.
and like they're not just scaring
Brutally.
them away. They
Yeah.
are wiping them out. Like that is the
exactly.
goal,
Yeah.
to wipe out this problem, not to just like, hey, please don't mess with this village anymore. Go away. Because they just know
Yeah.
they're gonna mess with some other village too.
Oh,
Like
exactly, exactly. And there was a period I
they're also
didn't
samurai. Like they're not like trying to wound people. They want
exactly.
to just like, if they're gonna fight you, they're gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Everything's
I
life or
didn't
death.
exactly. And I didn't Google this to confirm it, but during Japanese history is it's been around. Japan's been around for a long time. Then there are many different periods of their history, and one of the periods is the Warring States period. I think that's where this movie takes place, and it's where basically there's just massive chaos and essentially a lot of civil unrest, which I think they do reference in the beginning of the movie, where that's where all the plundering and pillaging is going on. Is there's no the government isn't really functioning the way they need it to, and there's just a lot of anarchy going on. So it's yeah, like Ben said, it's like, oh, we'll just move on to the next one and the next one and the next one. So
Mhm.
it was yeah, God, what a great. I want to watch it again now. You want to watch it again,
Scourge on
Tanner?
the countryside.
I
It's
do not
on
want to watch it again.
it's streaming on HBO. I don't know if either of you guys have that
That was
yet.
the only way I was able to watch it. I was on Prime and I signed up for HBO Max and
What do you mean?
immediately
They have
canceled
it
it
on
after.
Prime.
I
They
that
have it on Prime.
the only option for me was through the HBO. I couldn't find it anywhere else.
Really?
I,
I just
I may
I
have
just
been
go on
really
Prime.
tired and didn't look hard enough, but I just saw the one entry. But
You're
It
in
was
another
$4
country,
on Prime.
Tanner.
I 100% thought that I was going to have to pay for the rent twice, but
This
yeah,
may be an issue where we are in North America and you are not, and
Yeah.
things are in different places.
I'm gonna skip the Continental Award for best scene location, unless you just have one that really strikes out at you.
It's the fucking village. Yeah.
It's the whole
Yeah.
thing.
The Village. The dorm room poster for best lines. I have a couple of really good lines that I wrote down that I thought were cool. I'll just share them with you if you want.
Yeah, what do you got?
Even bears come down from the mountain when they're hungry, which I thought was cool.
Like
They were
that.
talking about the samurai and they're like, oh,
Mhm.
and all that good stuff. And the other one was in life, one finds friends in the strangest places. So
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Like those guys didn't know each other, but they were on the same wavelength. They're like, oh yeah, you're a samurai. I'm a samurai. We're both
Yeah, by the end of the movie, some of these guys are besties.
they're definitely buddies. So and then
I didn't
obviously,
have. Go ahead.
oh no, you are a magnificent person was the big one. Like oh my god.
Yeah, I didn't have a specific one line or a phrase or something like that, but I did think for how chaotic his character was, Kikuchiyo's kind of like speech in that
Yes.
about his father and like being a villager and that kind of thing in that little cabin, that was very powerful for his character, who's generally kind of psychotic
Yeah.
and off the rails.
Well, it was very much the whole the whole time people are looking at him going, what happened to you, bro? How did you get like this? It's just like Deadpool Wolverine. It's like, dude, what happened to you? Why are you so messed up? And then he tells them the story by the fire. I mean, there's so many. This movie it just spreads far and wide. So, but that's such a great trope of, the broken, damaged hero who gets to redeem himself, and serve honorably.
With a sick ending too.
With a really sick ending. Yeah. Yeah.
To his character, for sure.
Yeah. I love how God, this movie's so good. I want to watch it again. I love how at the end of the movie, the villagers are celebrating. They're happy, right? The bandits are gone. Hopefully another group of bandits doesn't just come on by, or there's like a brother of somebody that comes to hang out. But anyways, seemingly things are really good. They've got their harvest and they didn't have to give it up this time. They have food to feed themselves and they don't have 40 bandits that are trying to plunder, rape, and pillage everything. But uh, Kanbei Shimada and the other, and he's not celebrating the battle. He said, "This isn't our victory. This is their victory." And
Well, he said the
and then
peasants.
that shot of the three of them looking up at the four swords, the
Yeah.
sight, that was such an amazing shot. So beautiful, so awesome, and very, very much just captured just the reality of war, which is you're going to lose people, you're going to have casualties, and the cost of freedom, sovereignty, autonomy it's a price. To quote Captain America, the price of freedom is very high. So yeah, that shot really struck out
I
to
think
me.
that village is going to get left alone
Yeah.
for a while after
Yeah,
this.
I think
that's
they're
what I was
good.
thinking.
The
Yeah.
bandit community is going to be there's
Yeah.
going to be
They'll
chatter.
know.
Like, just
Yeah.
it's not worth it, man.
At
Just
the very least,
Yeah.
don't go
yeah.
there.
At the very least, if they just keep the fortifications up, that at least will buy them time, right? If someone does try to come back and
I
run
think
it
it'll
back
just
out.
become a legend, right? Like, this
Yeah.
Yeah.
village
Yeah.
fucked up like 60
Yeah.
bandits or whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a question for both of you that I found myself asking. Where do those guys go afterwards? Does anybody stay at the village? Or do you
The
think all three guys?
samurais?
Yeah. Do you think they stay?
Nah, I think they're
Nah.
out.
Yeah. I think
You
they're off
think
on their own thing.
you think Katsuri and Shimada, they probably stayed. He stays under him as his disciple. You think the three of them just go
I
off
don't
to
know. Maybe the old guy
adventure?
hangs around. Like,
He was holding
Maybe.
that kid though. He was holding the kid while talking. I mean, I feel like he was kind of. I feel like he was getting attached to the villagers, the
I
people, and
think part of the samurai,
yeah,
trope
keep
is
moving,
like
I think.
you're a lone wanderer and you keep going. And I think definitely you could think that maybe the young samurai was gonna stay around, but that last scene where the girl's like, the damage is done, like we can't be together, basically. She didn't say anything, obviously, but she didn't respond to him and looked away.
yeah,
That
that wasn't good.
that kind of set in stone. Like, all right, you got to go and be off. You've chosen samurai, or you are samurai, so you got to go do your own thing. I
That
think they
wasn't looking
definitely
good.
split
Yeah,
apart.
this up. The scene that struck out to me, one of many, was when they go to raid, you know, their house, their bunker, whatever, and take them out, and you see the wife and everything. One of the samurai dies trying to help that guy. He runs to go get his wife, and then the guy gets shot. And that scene is kind of crazy. You're like, oh wow, this is the reality of combat. Things can happen, unexpected. But I was reading about it online, and Kurosawa wanted to capture the fact that the uncomfortable fact that not all samurai died, like, quote unquote, in an honorable fashion, like while in battle, while engaged. Sometimes things just happen. It's just a mistake and an error. So it was yeah, there was just a lot to that scene that I thought was interesting. Like, oh, this is just one of those cases of shit happens. It sucks.
Yeah.
Very very realistic movie. I think.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's go one more category because it's a fun one and I love it, and then we'll wrap this thing up. The cruise index. On a scale of 1 to 10, how believable is the character doing the thing?
I genuinely think this rates very highly.
You think overall?
Uh,
Yeah.
Overall, I mean, other than some errant musket shots
Musket
that
fire. Yeah.
would be implausible, I think the rest of it is. I mean, if you swing a samurai sword at someone, you are definitely going to kill them with one swipe, despite you never seeing it even graze somebody or stab
Yeah.
somebody. I
Or any
think
Especially if
blood.
it's a comically large samurai sword, that
yes,
one guy.
especially if it's
Look at
Oh my
it.
God. Yeah. His was like, yeah. Kuchio was
Is
like,
that an influence on Final Fantasy, do we think?
oh,
Having
potentially.
giant swords?
yeah,
Like
I think in general pretty accurate, but
I was reading
Yeah.
that the guy who played our man Kyuzo, who went and
Yeah.
got the muskets, he had
That dude
never
was so
even
cool.
picked up a sword before he started filming this
Are
movie.
you serious?
And they just basically
Holy
through
shit.
like editing and camera work made him look like a badass.
sick.
So,
which is funny because I was literally just about to say I would not take him I would not want to take him in a duel. I mean, because he seems like he would just kick your ass.
yeah, they literally handed him a sword and were like, "We're rolling." So
that's the
Nice.
magic of editing, man. That's
Yeah.
amazing. God, that is so cool because that scene where the guy is they do the bamboo sticks and then he says that it was a draw and then he says no, I won that battle. The guy's angry. You're like, oh wow, oh yeah, that guy's toast. So that's
natural.
really neat.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you one more really quick piece of history, and then we can kick off here. Miyamoto Musashi is this swordsman, known as Japan's greatest swordsman of all time. He wrote books about combat strategy and fighting,
How
sword
great
fighting.
he was.
Yeah, basically about how great he was. But what I did not see in this movie that I was interested in was in his book, he talked about how he believed in using the regular katana and the shorter blade. So like to having a weapon in each hand and basically doing the two bladed combat.
Terrifying.
So I was waiting for someone to do that, but nobody in the movie did that. So I thought, oh man, maybe not as many people were doing that as he was. So, but apparently he did something like 60 duels and killed a lot of people. So it was a wild road.
That shit too if I were him.
He was a real one.
Yeah, he was a real one. Well, guys, we have gone a little into overtime on this one. This is Ben. Thank you for picking this movie, dude. This is awesome.
This was a big one that like had to get out of the way. I felt like
this was
it's been hanging over my head for I don't know 2 years.
I have friends. I have a couple of other friends that are huge movie people. Probably like 70% on Ben's level, not fully on Ben's level, but getting up there, definitely beyond me and Tanner. But
get on my level.
I'm excited to share this podcast with him when this comes out. I think he'll get a kick out of our insights about it. And yeah, you guys.
I promise my next pick will be more fun than this.
This was fun.
Shorter.
I'm in it. I liked the banter. Yeah, no,
I
liked the
banter. Locked in.
Right.
Can you believe I, for a minute, considered doing this a double feature with Magnificent Seven?
Oh, bro,
all the way off.
And oh my God, Ben, with my time management skills, bro, I would have been up till like 4 a.m.
I literally, bro, I was thinking like I might have to just like casually watch John Wick after this to get it out of my system.
You both should watch Magnificent Seven. It's really fun. Yeah. And there's a remake with Denzel and Chris Pratt that's really good.
I've seen the remake with Denzel. I've not seen the original, but that's on my list. The
original is great.
I have also not seen Yojimbo.
Steve McQueen.
Yeah, Steve McQueen and Bronson. So, yeah.
Is this, Quentin Tarantino?
No.
No. Magnificent Seven? No. Oh, I don't know who directs that one, actually. I don't remember, but it's fun.
You're thinking of The Hateful Eight.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
Which, even that title, like, Seven Samurai, Magnificent Seven, Hateful Eight, right? Like,
oh, yeah. That's interesting.
And
I have to.
Fukua.
I'll bet you.
That's a fun one, too.
If we were to rewatch Kill Bill, the first one, I'll bet we would see references to that movie in there too. There's probably a shit ton that we didn't notice. I'll bet, like particularly with the battling with the Crazy 88 and the duels and everything. So I'm
it's
sure
one of those things that like it's seeped into everything.
Yeah.
It's like the water of action movies.
It's like the
there's
water.
A little part of it in everything.
Dude, that might have to be the title. Seven Samurai is the water of action movies.
I don't know. I don't know.
We'll workshop it. I don't know. We'll see. Well, Ben, thank you for another wonderful Action Club pick. Is it back to me or is it Tanner?
It's back to you.
Back to me.
It's you.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll pick something good. I'm continuing my theme of bangers only. I'm not going to choose something that's going to annoy Tanner.
It's going to be fucking Ben's Seven Samurai, and there's going to be some Steven Seagal.
Make it tattoo worthy.
Part 2 nonsense.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely going to be a pre-tattoo movie. I'm not going to.
Are we still on the who were you doing? Gerard Butler kick? No.
What happened to that?
Yeah. You after we did one Gerard Butler, you're like, I'm going to pick the next 4 movies.
I ran out of
Gerard
steam.
Butler.
Yeah. I ran out of steam on that. Although I do, obviously 300 is 100% going to happen on this pod at some
Oh,
point.
for sure.
And yeah, it's going to happen. I actually just checked out G.I. Jane
Snyder,
from the
300.
library. So Zack Snyder 300. So another good one. But anyways, this was a wonderful, wonderful podcast. Thank you for choosing this movie, Ben. And want to thank all of you so much for tuning in with us to talk about The Seventh Samurai, this amazing film by Akira Kurosawa that came out in 1954. And until next time, we'll catch you later.
See you then.
Peace.